my God. Do you know? After a few days, I took medicine. Today, I feel worse because uh, since this afternoon, I have feel worse because I had cough more. I had the cough more, and now my
So,
voice is bad.
so why don't you see the doctor?
Uh, because I don't like.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
Because I think that if the situation didn't get any better, maybe you should see a doctor.
this morning I went to the hospital, but I went to the hospital to visit my grandmom.
Hmm.
And after that I came back home. Okay, maybe tomorrow I will go to see the doctor.
Yeah, because maybe you can so you can have a cough for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It's okay, but after 1 week, the situation doesn't get any better. Maybe you should think about.
Yeah. Although I I took many medicine, but it 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 don't stop.
Mhm.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah. So okay.
Dạ,
Uh,
con cho uống rồi.
so how about the lesson today? Because I saw the status that you posted on Facebook. You told me that
Yeah,
you were so busy and you didn't have time to prepare the lesson today.
I have prepared 1 hour ago.
Okay.
After I had dinner,
Mhm.
and uh, I can understand this lesson, but there are some sentences I don't understand. Um,
Okay. So which sentences that you don't understand?
uh, it the um, is the the third the third page.
Hmm.
One, two, the third the third page.
Yes. So I am on now. I am on in the third page,
The second page.
the second page.
Yeah.
So which
Uh,
sentence?
some sentences in the end of the page. Again, it's always well worth using some paracetamol or
Hmm.
some ibuprofen to see if that can control a mild temperature cause very often. It can be viral or benign reasons such as tearing. But if the temperature not responding to this, then it's always important to get this checked no matter what time of day. I don't understand.
So did did you look them up? Did you look them up on dictionary?
I can translate how to correct this paragraph. This
Okay, so firstly, I want you to practice pronunciation first. Okay,
okay.
so now, as always, you're gonna be the one who reads the entire conversation for me first, and then we will look, we will handle the issue later.
Okay. Check your baby for temperature. Very often I get asked how to check the child's temperature, and also when a parent should be worrying about their temperature. Wow, this little lady is my daughter, and I like to check her temperature whenever I feel she's unwell. The problem is, when do we get worried about? Well, if the temperature is between 36 to 36.8, that's quite normal. Anything over 37 to 37.1 may indicate a mild temperature. We tend to worry when it's over 38 degrees, and that when we say they may have a fever. There are many different causes of this, and it's very important to get that checked out by your GP. I checked the temperature using one of these sort of thermometers. The greatest advantage to this is you don't have to put them inside the child's ear, and therefore you don't have to disturb your child at night or when they are sleeping. Also, for baby at this size, some parents find it very awkward to stick a temperature thermometer inside to child's ear. The great thing with this gun is you can just put them to 2 inches away and you get a reading. First is 6.7, absolutely normal. Well, if you want to get one of these, they are available on the Dr. Arango's website. And again, in our baby packs, these little tips can often save you waking your child up unnecessarily, but often relieve a lot of anxiety that moms and dads often get when their child has had the temperature throughout the day. Again, it's always well worth using some paracetamol or some ibuprofen to see if that can control a mild temperature, because very often it can be viral or benign reasons such as tearing. But if the temperature not responding to these, then it's always important to get this checked, no matter what time of day. Check your baby for dehydration. This is Dr. Oregon. This is Dr. Oreron. On second top tip for children. Very often that the children are unwell. They may become dehydrated, and they can do it very easily. Diarrhea, um, vomiting, even just having a high temperature can lead to dehydration. One of the biggest top tips for checking if your child's dehydrated, especially as an infant is to check the fontanelle. This is a little indication that at the top of the head, if this feels shrunken, then it's often a sign your child is dehydrated and you should seek medical advice straight away. Again, have a pinch of the skin gently. See if it feels as elastic as it should do. And just try. It tends to in the shape. That's again another serious sign your child could be dehydrated. But if they are playful like this little one, and they are very alert, then it's a good indication that doing okay.
So, okay, anyway, now I'm going to give you a few questions first. So, which temperature is normal?
Temperature is between 36 to 36.5. That's quite normal.
Yeah. So how about the temperature, which is from 37 to 37.1?
This temperature may indicate a mild temperature.
A mild.
A mild.
So which might mean that the baby might have a fever. Which temperature might mean that the baby might have a fever.
When a child have over 38 degrees, that means they have a fever.
So what are the advantages of his thermometer?
What are advantages of
Thermometer?
The greatest advantage of this is the parent don't have to put them inside the child's ear. And therefore they don't have to disturb their child at night or when they are sleeping. And they just put them 2 inches away and they get a reading.
So what can lead to dehydration in babies? What can lead to dehydration in babies?
There are some reasons can lead to dehydration, such as diarrhea, vomiting, or even just having a high temperature can lead to dehydration.
Okay. So what is the way to check if your child is dehydrated?
You can check dehydrated by you check the fontanelle in the top of the head. If this feels sunken, then it's often if this feels sunken, that means if it feels sunken or is tend into the shape, in the shape, the child could be dehydrated.
Okay. So what should you do if your child is showing signs of dehydration? What should you do if your child is showing signs of dehydration?
My daughter, my daughter, when my baby should be dehydrated, I let her drink a lot of water, and there are I let her drink orange juice. It's a good juice for the baby when she have a high temperature, or should be when she should be dehydrated.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We pronounce temperature.
Temperature.
Not temperature. Temperature.
Temperature. Temperature.
We only have 3 syllables here. Temperature.
Temperature.
Yeah. So now I'm going to explain to you the question that you gave you in the beginning. But you need to look at the first sentence. Okay, so 36.7 degree is absolutely normal. Okay. So these little tips can often save you working your child up unnecessarily, but often relieve a lot of anxiety that moms and dads often get when their child has had a temperature throughout the day. Okay, can you just look at my screen?
Okay.
So again, it's always well to work using some drugs. Okay, so paracetamol and this kind of stuff here is a drug, like aspirin or something like that. Okay, because when you use a drug to your child and you want to see if that drug can control a mild temperature of your daughter, so which is a good thing, because sometimes the reason why the temperature of the child is increasing because of viral reason, which is a disease, maybe a fever or a cough or a flu. But if the temperature not responding to this, so Yeah, and then it's always important to get distracted no matter what time of the day. So so in this paragraph you can understand like sometimes you can use drugs in order to control the temperature, okay? Because sometimes it's kind of a disease, maybe a fever or a flu. But if you don't want to use a drug, if you don't want to use a drug, maybe you can use a tool like this one, the tool like um, yeah, thermometers. Mm. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Thermometer is the thing to check the
Yeah.
temperature.
Yeah, thermometer. Because sometimes you say that your child temperature is increasing, but you don't know whether it's a disease or not. Maybe you can use a thermometer to check, okay? But maybe you are not sure. So for example, when you use the thermometer, you say that your child's temperature is about 38, which is very dangerous because it can be a fever. Maybe you can use drug in order to control that.
When you have a baby, you will know how to take care of a baby had a baby have a high temperature. When your baby have when the baby is from is over 38 to 38.5 degrees, you don't have to use drugs. You just you don't have to use drugs to increase reduce the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
You just have them wear the cool clothes and drink a lot of water, and when your baby is over 38.5 degrees, you should take medicine.
Yes.
For them.
Yeah, because I actually don't have any experiences in that kind of issue because I just explained to you in the lessons. Yeah, so yeah,
I just show you some experience.
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes it's easier said than done. You know that phrase? It's easier said than done.
Said than done.
Yeah.
Said than done.
So, okay. Like, easier said than done mean like when you said something, when something seems like a good idea, but it could be difficult to do. Okay. So for example, you said that when your child's temperature is increasing, you need to do this, you need to do that. But in reality, it's a lot of things. It has a lot of things that you need to do. It's not easy, like it said. Okay. So, for example, you say that in order to run a company, you need to hire a good employee. You need to find a good place in order to introduce your good product, something like that. You have all this. You have you know a lot of things. You know a lot of things how to run a company, but in reality, it's really hard to run a business. So I mean, it's easier said than done. You understand?
No.
Okay.
I just understand in the first idea when you say that there are many things many easy things to do, but it's hard to do.
Because in real life, maybe for example, I told you on lesson today, like if a child's temperature is increasing, I need to use the thermometer to check his or her temperature, and then maybe I use the book. But in reality, I don't have a family. I don't have a children. So maybe that is something that I just saying to you, but it's not true because I don't have a family. So I just say something to you. I just tell you everything that I can do. But maybe in a real life, I cannot do that. So which means it's easier said than done. So it's easy to say, but it's hard to do.
Yeah. Okay, I can see.
Yeah. Có nghĩa cái từ này á, ở bên Việt Nam á, thường nói là nói thì dễ là hơn làm. Okay. Because I don't have a family, I can tell you everything. Okay, I can tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. But in a real life, I don't have experience. So maybe I actually don't know how to do that. So for example, when my child is crying, and then I started feeling anxious, I started feeling panic. I don't know what to do. At first, I know exactly what to do. Like I need to measure my child temperature and then bring her to a doctor. But at the time, my child is crying, and I started panicking. I actually don't know what to do, and then I need to call my mom. I need to call my dad in order to take care of my daughter. Yeah. So it's totally different.
Maybe this information in this lesson is it is a situation of in America. It's not in Vietnamese. And
it's not in Vietnam. It's not in Vietnam.
It's not in Vietnam, and we are learning everything related to American. There are some difference from Vietnamese.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you because it's about culture difference. But when we are learning English, we not only learn the language but also learn about the culture. Okay.
It's very,
so for example,
interesting.
So for example, when we have a conversation with our friends, we don't usually say how are you. Okay, so in Vietnam, when we meet our friends, we don't usually say how are you or how's it going. But in American culture or Western culture in general, the first thing we need to say when we meet our friends is how are you or how's it going? How are you today? You see, it's a cultural difference. So I think it's yeah, we don't need to necessarily apply all the thing in America into our life. Maybe there is some good thing and also there is some bad things. The point is we are learning, and if we see something good, we can apply it in our life.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have any question? Any questions?
I think there are there are some sentence I can understand, but it's is not necessary to understand correct all the lesson, because it's as you said, there are some cultural different, because this situation is in America. So I think I just understand the content of this lesson, but I shouldn't understand exactly all the words, all the sentences in this lesson, but I can understand the content of this lesson.
Yeah, that's okay. Good, because maybe there are some, yeah, but you need to understand the main point of the lesson. Yeah. Maybe you don't need to understand every single sentence. Okay.
Yeah, because it is the way to speak, the way to talk of the American. It's different in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
That's all. I can.
Yeah. So for me, to be honest, when I actually don't know why, but every time I speak English, I feel more confident compared to when I speak Vietnamese, to be honest. So for example, when I, so do you remember, so let's talk about my presentation competition. You know, I just posted on Facebook. That is an award I had ever had in my life, because before that, when I also have joined a lot of competition in the past, but all of that is Vietnamese. So I feel like I actually don't know why, but when I learn this language, I need to fake my emotion. I feel even more confident when I speak English. I actually don't know why. I feel like I am a different person. I feel like I really am. I turn into a completely different person when I speak English. I think that is one of the reasons why I succeed in the competition. In the last competition, I feel so confident Even the examiner said to me, I have never seen that kind of candidate who are confident like you. Although I feel nervous, I felt really nervous, but I fake my emotion. I pretend to be confident, but I am not. Because when I speak this language, I turn into a completely different person. So what I mean is, maybe when you learn a language, sometimes you need to learn the culture, and maybe which is very important to you, because it helps you absorb a language automatically.
Yeah, because I think when you know another language, you can know more about the culture, and you can increase your knowledge,
Yeah,
and it makes you more confident
yeah,
about yourself.
yeah, yeah. The point is sometimes we need. So what I mean is sometimes you need to be more open-minded,
More open
more open-minded. So
minded.
yeah,
I don't.
more. Uh,
Can you write? Can you write this word?
yeah. Okay. One moment. Open-minded.
Open-minded.
So the person who is open-minded is the one who is willing to consider ideas and opinions that are new or different to your own opinion. Okay. So for example, you are an open-minded person, which means you always want to learn something new, something maybe are different from your own opinions. Okay.
Uh,
So if you are an open-minded person, which is very good because you can learn a lot of things. You are willing to learn a lot of things.
yeah. Okay.
Because sometimes maybe there are some ideas, there are some opinions that maybe you don't like. Okay. Because in our life, maybe there are some ideas, some opinions that maybe we don't like, we dislike. But as an open-minded person, you can learn, you can absorb, you can consume that ideas, that opinions, and then you will determine which lesson, which ideas you need to learn, and which idea you don't need to. Okay, open-minded. Maybe you need to look it up later, which is a very good phrase. So anyway, uh, the homework that I'm gonna give you today is that you need to tell me how can you take care of your daughter when she gets fever,
Okay.
when she has a fever. How can you take care of your daughter when she has a fever?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I bet you like that.
Okay, I will try to finish my homework.
Yeah, maybe just 1 or 2 minutes. Maximum is 2 minutes. Maximum time is 2 minutes. Okay. So goodbye, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you
Good
and
night.
good night.
Yeah.